Hi. Good evening and thank you for joining us on BeeTv Major News at 6, reaching you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. I am Evelyn Izibili, and now to the news in details. Respondents have expressed anger over the worsening street trading that have resurfaced at the new Benin market, hampering free flow of human and vehicular movements in the area. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe, who was at the market area, reports that wares were displayed on the walkway stretching into the road.
The maternal culture, we don't have it. That developed country, they don't behave like that.
A visit to the new Benin market shows that nothing has changed in the habits exhibited by traders in displaying their wares on the roadside, which now results in difficulty of vehicular movement on the road. Some respondents said it is an awful situation because traders are actually lacking awareness and orientation. They said if they were sensitized, they would not risk their lives trading on the road. They further said there is a need for more space to be given to the traders, as most of the traders do not have shade to do their businesses. Hence, they are reason to trading on the walkways.
You know, say this morning, this road, now they easy pass to person you all come down buy what you want buy. Go.
I think before may probably chase them away from using the road for their daily businesses and all of that, they should also make a provision, like a place to move them to before asking them to live here. The government should at least make a provision for these people so they have a place where they can trade after this place.
You know, we are Nigerians, so we need some force in whatever we do. That's the nature of blacks. So I think the government should also have more personnel on ground to control these people and should do more of enlightenment.
The walkway is supposed to be for walkway. There are people that trek.
Yes.
They follow walkway. But what we are seeing now is the other way around. Because it's very bad to see that traders have overtaken walkway, especially markets all over Benin City and beyond. It's sad because a lot of money is being used for this walkway. And if you look around the whole town, the walkway, many of them, they will dig, people dig this, what do you call it, telephone wire. They will dig their side, they will cover the walkway, which is not good. Like Egosa, go to Egosa. The both side is covered with sand. And the government is not speaking, nobody is speaking.
The market that we have now, let me say for instance, New Benin market, government need to restructure the market, need to expand the market, need to build the market in a standard that everybody will go inside and make the price of the market, the store rent down, so that it will be conducive for everybody to pay. So that electricity will be reduced in the market.
Though several efforts have been made to stop street trading in Benin, but the respondents believe government can do more to ensure the menace is addressed. Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.
President Bola Tinubu have condemned the murder of traveling hunters intercepted by local vigilantes in the Uromi community of Eastern North local government area of Edo State. The president, who expressed shock at the dastardly act, directed police and other security agencies to conduct swift and thorough investigations and punish the suspected culprits. President Tinubu commiserates with the families of the affected victims, assuring them that criminals would not be allowed to shed the blood of innocent Nigerians in vain. He noticed that jungle justice has no place in Nigeria and all Nigerians have the freedom to move freely in any part of the country. President Tinubu commended the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebholo, and community leaders in Uromi for their swift response to advance the escalation of tensions. The Inspector General of Police, Egbetokun Olukayode Adeolu, have condemned the violent mob action carried out against a group of travelers by a local vigilante group along the Uromi-Obajana Road in Edo State. The group of individuals who were traveling in the truck and claimed to be hunters were found in possession of 19 locally fabricated firearms when intercepted by the vigilantes, who were not satisfied with the excuse of being hunters to be in possession of such numbers of arms, concluded they were kidnappers. In a swift response, the Edo State Police Command deployed operatives to the affected community, restoring order and law. 14 suspects have been arrested in connection with the incident, while a manhunt has been launched for other perpetrators involved in the mob action. The IGP has directed the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Force Criminal Investigation Department, Sadiq Abubakar, to take over the case and ensure a thorough, impartial, and expedited investigation. The IGP further appeals for calm, urging members of the public to cooperate fully with the invest. Barwa Jibrin has also joined in condemning the killing of travelers in Uromi East, Northeast local government area of Edo State, asking security agencies to immediately go after the perpetrators, describing the killing as barbaric, inhuman, and devilish. The Deputy President of the Senate appealed to the Edo State Police Command and other security agencies to take decisive action to bring corporates to justice. Senate Barwa called for calm, ensuring that the corporates would not go unpunished. Active chairmen in the 18 local government area of Edo State have been taxed on the need to prioritize people-oriented projects so as to impact the life positively at the grassroots level. This was made known in an exclusive interview with BeeTv News by the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Barrister Lucky Esaigbe. BeeTv News Freeman Osari has details.
Local government, as the third tier of government, is the closest form of government to the people and at the grassroots level, and so its importance cannot be overemphasized when it comes to initiating projects that will transform the lives of the people. In an exclusive interview with BeeTv News, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs in Edo State, Honorable Barrister Lucky Esaigbe, said the acting chairman in the various councils are saddled with the responsibility of bringing the dividends of democracy to the people. He said the local government cannot even do more for its people now that the federal allocation is going back to the local government areas.
The local government councils are the third tier of government, and the essence why we have government is for the primary purpose of security and well-being of our citizens at the grassroots. And you recall not too long ago when this present administration came on board, it was these same grassroots citizens who also voted for us under the rain, under the sun. And we see no reason why in the area of security we will not provide for them. We have no excuse, because Mr. Governor's agenda #1 is to provide security for the citizens of Edo State.
He further stated that the Governor Monday Okpebholo administration is also prioritizing large-scale farming in the 18 local government areas so as to ensure food security, which is part of his administration's key agenda.
Agenda again is the issue of we must go back to farm. We see no reason why our council chairman will not go back to farms, because the days when council chairman come to the office to pay salaries, pay allowances, those days are gone. Mr. Governor is saying everybody must go back to farm. This is to ensure that all local government councils, they go back to capital project. We don't want to see any roads that are not accessible in Edo State. They must provide accessible road. They must provide water. They must also ensure that they also provide security and electricity. And of course, food sufficiency for our farmers, and soft loan to our market women and mothers.
Edo State has 18 local government area. Freeman Usawe reporting for BeeTv News.
The constituents of Edo South Senatorial District and some human rights advocates have declared a total loss of confidence in the member representing Edo South Senatorial District at the National Assembly. Senator Neda Bernard Imasue, citing allegations of corruption, abuse of office, and betrayal of public trust. BeeTv News gives to a boy reports that this was disclosed in a press conference where they announced the commencement of his recall process and called for an immediate investigation by anti-corruption agencies, including the EFCC, ICPC, and Interpol. The reports.
Independent Corrupt Practice Commission, ICPC, to collaborate with Interpol in investigating the following.
At a press conference, human rights activist Marxist scholar Edokpayi of the Talakawa Parliament announced the commencement of a recall process against Senator Neda Bernard Imasue, citing corruption, incompetence, and betrayal of public trust. They accused the senator of abandoning Edo South in the Senate, failing to sponsor meaningful legislation, and ignoring its constituents' consent, including rising insecurity and economic hardship. Given the severity of these accusations, Edokpayi urged Interpol, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), and the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission (ICPC) to investigate Senator Neda Imasue.
Independent Corrupt Practice Commission (ICPC) to collaborate with Interpol in investigating the following: A. Is alleged involvement in a $25 million bank fraud and in the United States, which led to his abrupt departure from the country. B. The circumstances surrounding his alleged disbarment by the New York State Supreme Court in 2010 for professional misconduct. C. His alleged suspicious financial activities and unexplained wealth since assuming office. Given the international nature of these allegations, Interpol's cooperation is necessary to ensure a thorough, independent, and global investigation. Additionally, Senator Neda Imasue must publicly declare his assets before assuming office and his current asset to ascertain our claims of unexplained wealth and corruption. Edo South has been abandoned in the Senate.
Marxist scholar Edokpayi emphasized that if no action is taken within 14 days, mass protest, legal action, and international escalation of their demands would follow. He urged Edo South constituents to sign the recall petition and mobilize others while calling on INEC to uphold the constitution without delay or excuses.
If no action is taken, we will mobilize our members vertically and horizontally for mass protests. We shall not relent. We shall follow it up with pursuit for legal action and escalate our demands nationally and internationally based on the international connection we have as activists.
Also speaking, Lord Caesar Garrick, a human activist, expressed disappointment in Senator Neda Imasue, stating that his constituents are not feeling his impact. Garrick said Senator Imasue's lack of engagement and tangible contribution have left the community questioning his effectiveness as their representative.
It's so sad that we are here today doing this. Oga Neda Imasue, the senator representing Edo South Senatorial District. There was a radio program this morning, and when the people were asked who is representing Edo South Senatorial District in the upper chambers, I mean the red chambers, 80% of the people said they don't know you, while the 20% that claim to know you say, yeah, they know your name, but they've not felt your presence. Oga, is it wrong for you to tie rules in your constituency? Or guys, is it wrong to help the governors solve the insecurity in Edo South Senatorial District? Okay, what is wrong if you tie the road from 100 feet from St. Saviour down to Gobai, the road behind Guinness, to decongest Rama Park and Third Junction? Okay, we are not feeling your presence. The common man on the streets are not happy. We ask them, what have this man done? They will say, we've not seen its work, rather than the work of Senator Monday. It's a shame, because we are aware that you can do something with the money given to you as a constituency project.
The push to recall Senator Neda Bernard Imaswan is a fight for accountability with a 14-day ultimatum set for action. Gift Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News.
Motorists and road users have expressed displeasure over the deteriorating condition of a filled portion along the New Lagos Road by Total Filling Station, which is causing traffic congestion and damage to vehicles. BeeTv News Osarigwe Agwebo reports that road users are calling on the government to swiftly repair the road before it deteriorates further and causes more damages.
If rain fall, that place they full, because the bottle they full ground. Motor the knock of the motor they pull.
Vehicles having a hard time navigating through the fade portion of the New Lagos Road by Total Filling Station due to the deteriorating condition of the road. Speaking with BeeTv News, some motorists and road users said the condition of the road started deteriorating gradually and eventually turned into a wide ditch. They said driving on the road is now an Herculean task, especially when it rains, as the condition of the road has led to damage of vehicles, traffic congestion, and has caused several accidents, especially for those who are unfamiliar with the road.
That place is a bad place. They scatter motor, many motor they damage for that place, because see, that place has the turn, that gallop, na bad spot. It's not supposed to be like that.
This is a 4 junction, New Benin to be. I believe after Ring Road, this is one of the busiest places in Benin. So for a place like this to be there, it also traffics a lot, and besides, an eyesore because of the situation. It does not allow free flow of vehicle. Mostly in the evenings, you come and see the hold up this thing will cost. So I'm surprised that this thing, because they say a stitch at time save 9. Why would the government not just come and do some palliative? Would have been better.
Honestly, this photo at New Lagos Road by New Benin Junction is an eyesore. You see, this junction acts as a major junction to motorists, the ones coming from Upper Mission, the one coming from Mission Road, the one coming from New Lagos Road by 3rd. You know, honestly, I believe it's an eyesore because it affects vehicle movement, especially when it comes to raining season.
They called on the government to swiftly repair the road before it deteriorates further and cause more damages.
That place, so now, like now, if you go slow, then that place they cost hold up well. You understand? So please, when I help us, state government, may they help us to just help us do that place.
I beg make government come do for us. I beg.
Okay, pay before I did.
If you ready for, I don't should go there. I don't should go pay. You spend many motor. Motor will spoil. I beg. Make government come do for us. May they help us.
Everywhere we block, it will cause them hazard. So the government should be able to fix it. It's a pothole. They need to do it.
We beg government, may they see airports. The money we see they pay too much. Now we they pay tax, we they pay ticket, they pay agbero, they pay this one. May the airport reduce them. I beg, may they reduce them for us.
When the news crew visited the Ministry of Works on Sapele Road to get comments on the deployable road conditions, the permanent secretary was unavailable, as the news crew were informed that he was not in office at the time. The New Lagos Road is a major road in Benin City that is used by many, and it is expected that the government will swiftly repair the fade portion of the road before it becomes impassable by motorists and road users. Osarogie Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
Respondents have called for the reduction in the plowing out of carbon emissions so as to protect air quality for human safety. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe reports that some respondents send plumes of smoke from industries, faulty vehicles and more intoxicates the air quality.
Carbon emissions, primarily carbon dioxide, CO2, are the release of carbon compounds into the atmosphere, mainly from burning fossil fuels and industrial processes, which trap heat and contributes to global warming and climate change, and most especially air quality, which everyone breathes in. In an interview with BeeTv News, respondents are calling for the regulation of carbon emissions flowing out of factories, bush burning, vehicles, and more because it poses a big risk to air quality. He added that the government can take necessary steps in ensuring the amount of carbon emissions sent out is regulated.
Factories and those companies, they have a way of regulating it, because back then we have a refinery and or a certain industry that do produce stuff, and the carbonizer are not good for human health, but they are where they regulate these things. But most times all these things with I don't care attitude, they just let it be like that. So even the air we are breathing is already polluted. Even with the water, the fish itself, they are all struggling to even survive. Many of them have died. So but I think if there's a way they can regulate these things so that those things can be able to, you know, circulate, so that at least the air we be breathing will be more safer.
You know, Nigeria is not a developed country, so where it can be still be reduced if maybe the production can be shifted so that there will be less production in the daytime. You know, during the daytime, people are outside moving around, finding their daily bread. You know, so from there people can get hazard due to environmental hazard. So I think this may be reduced. Maybe if they shift the production maybe to night or to midnight, so the hazard will be a bit reduced.
Meanwhile, efforts to get comment from authorities at the Ministry of Environment and plans by government to address the issues and sensitize the public were unsuccessful. Freeman Usawe reporting for BeeTv News.
The increasing cost of medication has left many Nigerians struggling to afford basic health care. From life-saving drugs to common painkillers, the price of pharmaceutical products continues to rise, making it difficult for families to manage their health expenses. Many residents in Benin City share their experiences, highlighting a shift towards traditional and natural healing methods. The report.
In an interview with BeeTv News, residents voiced their concerns about the economic hardship caused by the soaring cost of medications. Many expressed their struggles in affording essential drugs. Faced with these financial constraints, they have turned to herbal remedies and other alternative treatments as a more affordable means of managing their health. In an interview, residents pleaded with government at all levels and critical stakeholders to intervene and implement measures to alleviate their suffering. They emphasized the urgent need for price regulation, subsidies, or policies that would make essential medications more accessible to the average citizen.
The cost of living is very high, and when we not channel it to medical line, in fact, a poor man cannot afford treatment in the hospital because of high cost of drugs. So many people have now decided to be using herbs. So they've now resorted to herbs. They've decided to go down the lane. That's which our forefathers did, that helped them and made them strong. It's what we have resolved into. Even I, as I speak to you, I have lemon in my bag. Let me show you. This is lemon. By the time I go, I will prepare agbo. Are you saying it? I will prepare agbo. I will use other things, and by the time I drink, I'll be very strong.
Even the cause of the mess, even my brother, wife we born about last week, not be through operation, normal successful delivery, but doctor they tell us say we have to pay 200,000. Imagine cause waiting be the problem. Now operation been a waiting. He say everything don't eye. Waiting eye, say na the medication. Waiting made the eye. He say himself no know why the eye. He say but the rate of dollar they affect us here. As whether we they use dollar here, waiting consign us consign dollar.
Speaking on the issue, High Chief Ozo, a pharmacist, attributed the surge in drug prices to the closure of major pharmaceutical markets, including Onitsha Main Market, Alaba International Market, and Aba, where a significant portion of the country's medications are supplied. He explained that these markets were shut down by NAFDAC following the discovery of illicit and expired drugs. Chief Ozo further highlighted that the situation has not only affected consumers but also dealers, as many people can no longer afford essential medications, leading to a decline in sales. He appealed to the relevant authorities to intervene swiftly, both to support the masses and to stabilize the pharmaceutical sector.
As a result of the closure of Onitsha main market where drugs are sold, and the Alaba International where drugs are sold, as well as Aba by Nigeria National Association of Foods and Drugs, NAFDAC. According to them, some illicit or expired drugs or unregistered drugs were found on those places, which resulted to the closure of those places. To the relevant authorities to help the masses. You can see the patient, I may not call it common, but paracetamol, we underrate the efficacy of paracetamol, the importance of paracetamol. I will not use common for it. So customers will walk into the shop, say, how much is paracetamol? He said, 300. He said, what? Paracetamol? Paracetamol that is 100 naira. The patient will go away. And that patient needs it. This is that paracetamol. But because of the cost, the high cost, the patient cannot afford it. Like every other drug. Rather, they resort to buying agbo, resort to taking certain things that are not certified by NAFDAC, certain natural herbs that are not certified by NAFDAC, which might be detrimental to their health.
With the rising cost of living already straining households, residents are calling on the federal government to take urgent measures to regulate drug prices and ensure that essential medications remain affordable to all. Gift Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News.
Nigerians are aware that there are 36 states in Nigeria. But do you know that recent revelation shows that Edo State is the most expensive state to live in? What could be the reason for this? Well, some respondents said the insecurity in the Edo could be the reason for the increase in foodstuffs and other basic amenities. Our reporter Pelumi Mokoro spoke with some residents who gave divergent views as to why the situation is so. The reports.
We think we are wise, and we are not wise, and we are doing ourselves. You understand?
As of February 2025, Edo State was ranked as one of the most expensive states to live in Nigeria, along with Enugu and Sokoto. Edo State has a high cost of living with an inflation rate of 33.6% in February 2025 and food inflation at 35.1%, making it a primary driver of rising costs. Nairametrics reported this on March 17, 2025, that Edo ranked as the most expensive state in Nigeria in February 2025. Speaking with BeeTv News, some residents attributed it to the insecurity in the state, which has affected the cost of foodstuffs in the market, and appealed to the government to look into it. Others disagreed with the ranking and stated that Edo State is not the only state being affected by high cost of living, emphasizing that it is a Nigeria problem.
We think we are wise, and we are not wise, and we are doing ourselves. You understand? Like, I'm going to work now. Maybe like yesterday, I buy 1 bar of yam, 3,500. So the thing is that the thing that normally costs it is all this full and herdsmen. Our parents or you can no longer go to farm. You understand? So with that, I don't really know how to explain it, because the thing is somehow government should try and put things in place.
The main reasons for the hike of price in those states is because of unions. Yeah, especially market unions. You want to buy something before. If you go to one store, someone can tell you they will sell it for 5K. When you go to the other store, based on the person I've not said since morning, can tell you can sell for 3.5. But now, since they have union, all the prices are like fixed. Sound like they just discuss one price, one rice, cup of rice is this price, and that's how you see for all the persons all around. And it doesn't make sense. So the people doesn't have say than just to buy, because if you trek down to another market, that's the same price you will buy. And also, it's also the bus drivers. I'll just use that word, because if I ask some of them, if not be say you get bus, most of the prices that you guys are putting, you can't afford it.
Due to the economy of the country. So I don't know, this one is beyond the state, because everything started from inception of this administrative. So if you are going to tackle anything, let it come from the top, not just the state, because I believe the issue we are actually facing more is the issue of fuel. The price of fuel is quite expensive. It's quite expensive. How much is fuel price? 1,000 plus. So when you say that this fuel issue is all-round issue, so if the economy of the state or these prices of things is going to come down, they have to, do something about the fuel price.
Other citizens mentioned union groups as being the cause for the high cost of living and urged the government to look into it.
Say that the government can do, especially our new Edo State governor, what they can do is that they should put an agency on this to monitor the prices in foodstuff. Yeah, because I know they said they've stopped union, but I don't know how true is that. Because you can stop union if you don't monitor. If you stop something and you don't monitor, it's as good as nothing.
It's not only those things that something is expensive now, because let us say just Nigeria, the whole Nigeria. Because what I think about is that because of fuel. If government that can bring the fuel price down, I know something will come down. It's not only even food, fuel, everything. It's not only us.
Edo, Enugu, and Sokoto are at the top of the list for the highest cost of living in Nigeria. Bolumi Moko reporting for BeeTv News.
The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Abubakar, have made his first operational visit to the headquarters of the 26th Armored Brigade of the Nigerian Army in Dutse, Jigawa State. The visit comes at a time where security challenges in northern Nigeria remain a top national concern. During his visit, the minister was briefed by the brigade commander, Brigadier General T.J. McIntosh, on the operational activities of the command. The discussion focused on ongoing military operation intelligence strategies and the need for enhanced collaboration to combat insurgency, banditry, and other security threats in the region. The defense minister commended the troops for their dedication, assuring them of government commitments to providing necessary support. The proposed bill by the Federal House of Representatives to strip governors and their deputies of immunity sparked off reaction from Nigerians. BeeTv News' Freeman Osawe reports that some respondents are of the view that the bill, though be lauded, may not be seen of the light of the day.
That's not our problem. The government should find something better to do for us.
A bill seeking to strip vice presidents, governors, and deputy governors of immunity has passed the second reading at the House of Representatives and will pass the final stage. In an interview, some respondents said the bill, though is a good one, but likely will not come to fruition because if it does scale through, it then means that even the governors themselves will likely be affected in the future, saying that the governors and their deputies may not be subjected to any form of attack from anybody because of the absence of immunity.
Though they are in authority, they are elected, though they are citizens, only that maybe they are head. But at least the way they are treating themselves, they treat themselves as God or whatever, and it's not supposed to be. So all the public resources that everyone's supposed to enjoy, they only pack it to themselves. So they didn't share it among people, which is not supposed to be. Even most of them that are in the House of Representatives, after they have finished their tenure, they want to go back to the governor and other way on that. So I don't think they will make it possible.
I don't know, maybe it's just one of those their propagandas because I feel they work together. But if they want to be sincere, it's fine. I think that's a fair one. They should be treated as every other person. It's a public office working for the people, but you know, their immunity give them a kind of leverage to do whatever they want, and they feel they can always get away with it. But if they know that they have to, you know, give back, they have to be accountable somehow, or they will be held responsible if they misuse whatever opportunity they have, they will be more orderly.
Others, however, said it to be a welcome development if the bill is passed, which they said will now be an example of a society where no one is treated specially, which will in turn reduce the abuse of power amongst elected public office holders.
Most of our leaders, some of them, but some have God-fearing hearts, but some of them, they are just there for their own selfish interests. So if that bill should be passed or not, I think the masses will have a long role to play in that aspect. But for the selfish ones there, they won't allow it, because you taking power from them is as if you're taking food from their mouth, and they are oppressing, some of them are oppressing the masses with that same power they have. So you slashing the power now so that a commoner can also have a say is a welcoming idea, and I hope if it can be able to be implemented, then we will have a better Nigeria.
When they are not have been they we Nigeria, we people who are not a member of the House of Assembly, we will abuse that office in the name of the governor has no immunity again. We started treating them anyhow. Because the immunity now, when the governor got nice, still that is why they be able to do one or two things. Even when we say no, they will use veto power against us. They don't Nigeria never ripe for that bill yet. That is the issue. They never ripe read that bill. Or they could have been better. They have to, we, the member, with the public, have to caution ourselves first.
The issue at hand, like presently, we have many other pressing issues in Nigeria that need to be tackled and taken care of, like the insecurity and the rises of commodities in the market and many other things. Stripping them off their immunity does not solve any problem in Nigeria. We are facing so much hardship. Everything is increasing in Nigeria every day. We are suffering. Everybody is suffering. But I feel there are better things that need to be done in the country than thinking about the things that are not really relevant for the now.
It will be of no good to Nigerians, in the sense that it will make the governor have a loophole of easy attack from either the opponent of from the House of Assembly or whatever. So I think the issue of the immunity is very, very good for the governor. So I think it will not see the light of the day.
For now, the bill has just passed through the second reading. Freeman Usawi reporting for BeeTv.
The federal government has put on hold the implementation of annual dues for public interest entities under the Financial Reporting Council Amendment Act of 2023 during a stakeholders meeting in Abuja. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment announced the formation of a technical working committee to review the concerns raised by the private sector and propose solutions that aligns with Nigerian economic interests. Has more.
In 2023, the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria amended its act, introducing significant changes regarding annual dues for public interest entities. The amendment expanded the definition of PIE to include various private companies, concession entities, and private entities. However, these changes have sparked concern among stakeholders who argue that the new dues may amount to double taxation and could negatively impact business operations. In response of this concern, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment engaged with stakeholders to address the grievances.
The provisions of the law, people are to file their returns within 120 days of the end of their business year. A lot of our members have 31st of December as their end of financial year. What that then means is that between then and April, the 120 days will count. If they are not filing their returns within those days and making these payments, these due payments, they will be in an infraction.
This bill on gross should be avoided. Even when you borrow money, it's part of your gross. No bank will fund any project in Nigeria if they know that the money they are giving you is going to go to the tax.
Following these discussions, the minister announced that the implementation of the annual dues will be put on hold as a technical committee will be set up to review the concerns raised by the private sector and oppose solutions that best fit the country.
The private sector had asked from a range of 2 to 3 months to a range of indefinite suspension. We're not going to do that. So between at the most 60 days, we're going to set up a technical working group. And Mr. President had been briefed ahead, and he said, you know, we're a listening government, and we want private sector to be comfortable. We want the economy to thrive. So this is what we're going to do, empirical work to come up with the best fit for Nigeria. We've already looked at global best practices on each side, and we come up with the best fit for Nigeria. We make the proposition, and then, of course, we have to go back to Parliament.
By engaging stakeholders and reassessing the policy, the government aims to ensure that financial regulations support economic growth rather than hinder. Sarugi Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring that policies, reforms and projects within the agriculture and food value chain across the country are aligned with global best practices. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kwari, made this known during the Agro-Food and Plastering Park, Nigeria. The report.
According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, Nigeria ranks among the top 10 most arable countries globally, with over 70 million hectares, more than 80 million hectares of land suitable for growing seasonal crops. However, farmers continue to face challenges in accessing improved seed due to the high cost, which significantly impacts both their livelihoods and the country's food security. This challenge forms the backdrop for the federal government's participation in this international conference and trade exhibition, which brings together over 110 exhibitors from 13 countries. The event provides a platform to discuss ways to improve seed assets and showcase innovative achievements in agriculture, food processing, plastic and packaging technology.
Together, we can leverage our collective expertise to develop innovative solutions that address the complex interplay between agriculture, nutrition, and climate change. We are committed to ensuring that policies and projects are informed by the latest research and best practices from around the world.
As we know, Mr. President declared a national state of emergency in relation to food supply. And that was unfortunate, but it's also needed that the attention is focused on supply of healthy food in Nigeria. It's a matter of yield, it's a matter of soil testing, it's a matter of combating post-harvest losses. All of these things are equally important, and the Netherlands has been working on this.
For Dutch exhibitors and those in horticulture, improving access to better seeds is seen as a key factor in boosting productivity.
It's very difficult to grow your products here in an affordable way, but the companies we have with us in our delegation, they have products that can have a better outcome, so the return on investment can be very big.
You can see significant growth in terms of farmers adopting hybrid seeds. And what are the benefits of these hybrid seeds? The benefit is they have higher yields than the open pollinated varieties or the farmer safe seeds.
The conference created a platform for fostering collaboration, innovation and sustainable growth within Nigeria's agro-food and packaging sector. Soher Osemege reporting for BeeTv News.
Respondents in Benin City have suggested reasons why certificate, degree or skill experience should not be the criteria for employing job seekers. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe reports that some respondents are of the view that skill experience is the best criteria to considering when offering job opportunities, while others said otherwise.
Even this media, there are some persons who went to university, who have degrees in journalism, but they cannot actually perform. Some of them cannot even perform as those who has been on ground, who know what is going around, some of this. So
in the recent times, organizations or companies are mostly concerned about practical productivity other than theoretical knowledge, especially for applicants who are seeking for a job opportunity, are put to practical tests to see their level of competence if given the opportunity. Some respondents suggested that skill acquisition are more important than considering anyone for job opportunities because that is the necessity that would drive their usefulness. They said obtaining a degree alone is not just enough, but one has to show his or her prowess in which area of specialty they fit in, adding that acquiring skills is an added advantage to job seekers.
To be blunt, I don't think university degree should be a measure or a prerequisite for having a job. I say this because research has shown that there are a lot of persons who could not go to universities, not because they didn't have the brains, but because probably on financial ground, but they were able to act on their own, go learn skills, you know. So, and I think that I always tell my friends that I think what we need in this country now is not certificate, it's certificates. Certificates. So, can you actually do this thing?
You see people that have degree, they are roaming up and down. Nobody to give them job because they don't have anybody. You see, and they don't supposed to be like that. So if you have a skill, maybe you are a mechanic, you have to open a workshop, and it's the duty of the government to assist them. Because most of them learn this work, but there's no money for them to establish it.
Others maintain that they believe employment opportunities are considered based on the level of qualification from the individual, because when an individual curriculum vitae shows their qualification level, it creates more chances of securing a job.
Okay, the criteria is that someone, if he's capable, as in the deliverables of that organization, if he can meet it, they should give the person. But if the person is physically stable, mentally stable, and it's okay. And I know normally education is the bedrock of the society, but however, they should also look at the handwork which person can do better before they consider the degree.
Educational requirements are the requirements that are needed in order for somebody to attain certain level of job potentials. So employment starts from HND, OND, OND, HND and BLC. Then nowadays you see additional qualification which has to do with professional qualification. So those are the criteria for getting job. But there are other skilled workers that are professional in their field, those that went to technical school. They are also employed based on their knowledge or their skills.
Education is a panacea to greater heights. Acquisition of higher degree is very important before you can talk about experience. So if one has to have any job, experience also matters. In other words, university degree plus experience should serve as a sine qua non to making sure that you have a good job. And having that good job will give you the enablement to be able to, unleash what you have in stock in wherever you work.
We should not just jettison skills or people who don't have that certificate in quotes. So I think we should balance it. But there are organizations that actually need people with skills. You can have a certificate, but you are not skilled in that particular environment. So I think for me, it should be two-way thing. There's no one that is lesser.
Whichever way, having some level of skills coupled with good qualification is a necessary criteria in getting a job. Freeman Usawi reporting for BeeTv News.
We'll be back shortly while we go on a short break. Stay with us.
Landlady, thank God say I meet you for house. That my client when I tell you. He said he ready to pay times 3 of the amount. Yeah. Then another thing be say he no need landlady when they take nose come they smell wetin dey happen for compound.
The one with the mass I don't smell her finish.
Collect my money, come give me. Make I just call her.
Hey, wait. Una know the work where they work.
Wetin concern me concern the work when they do. My own na make it pay the money. I carry my percentage put for pocket me. I give landlady the rest. That be my work. I be agent.
Una never know wetin dey fly dey go so. Our governor talk say all these people wey dey do kidnapping so any house where they see the person, whether na the person build the house or on alternative day, the house they go demolish am. No be only that one o. All those small secret court wey they dey, except anybody wey they see, the person go 21 years imprisonment. Anybody wey they use water dey tie am for back, that person go 10 years for jail. Agent, no collect money for your hand again.
Landlady, na 30% we dey talk so.
30% kill you there.
Say no to kidnapping, say no to cultism, and no forget to report any wuru or kukere waka to government. This message na from Edo State government too.
Welcome back, and now to the business news. Investors at the Nigerian stock market recorded 148 million naira on Friday to end the week on a bullish trend. Similarly, the all-share index ASI also climbed by 234.52 points or 0.22% to settle as 105,600.64. BeeTv News Pelumi Mukoro has details of this and more from the business world.
At the end of Friday's trading, details show that the market capitalization rose by 148 billion naira or 0.22% to close at 66.257 trillion naira compared with 66.109 trillion naira on Thursday. The uptrend was driven by strong buying interest in medium and large cap stocks such as GTCO, NASCON and MRS. Additionally, the release of full-year financial results and corporate actions from some listed companies further boosted investors' confidence. Meanwhile, the market breadth closed negative with 32 losers and 24 gainers. A total of 547.57 million shares worth 21.617 billion were exchanged across 13,244 transactions. This is compared with 423.62 million shares worth 9.181 billion naira that was exchanged across 11,393 transactions earlier recorded. The Nigeria Economic Summit Group (NESG) has called on the federal government to maintain crude oil production at 2.2 million barrels per day to ensure the viability of 2025 budget and stabilize the economy. Dr. Tayo Aduloju, Chief Executive Officer of NESG, made the recommendation during the group's media briefing on its 2025 strategic vision and private sector macroeconomic outlook in Abuja. He emphasized that sustaining this production level is critical for revenue generation, foreign exchange stability, and economic growth. Aduloju noted that Nigeria's oil production has fluctuated between 1.1 million ppd, 2.2 million ppd, and a peak of 2.8 million ppd in recent years. Nigeria's currency, the naira, appreciated against the dollar across both official and parallel foreign exchange markets, ending the week on a positive note. The Central Bank of Nigeria's exchange data showed that the naira strengthened to 1,536.82 naira per dollar on Friday, up from 1,538.66 naira traded on Thursday. This indicates that the naira gained 1.84 naira on a day-to-day basis at the official FX market. Similarly, in the black market, the naira appreciated to 1,550 per dollar on Friday, a 10 naira gain compared to 1,560 exchanged the previous day. Meanwhile, on a week-on-week basis, the naira depreciated by 7.47 naira per dollar at the official market compared to 1,531.19 naira at the start of the week. However, the naira strengthened by 20 naira against the dollar over the week in the parallel market. Balumi Mukor reporting for BeeTv News.
And now to the foreign scene, where at least 4 people were killed and 21 injured in a Russian drone attack in Dnipro, Ukraine, according to the regional head Serhiy Yisak. Also, a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake has killed over 1,000 people in Yarma and left thousands injured. BeeTv News Global News correspondent Rebecca Goffey tells us more on this and other stories from the foreign scene.
Videos showed firefighters battling large fires and debris scattered across streets. A restaurant complex and several homes caught fire after more than 20 drones targeted the city late Friday, though most were shut down. Air raid sirens also sounded in other regions, including Kyiv, but no casualties were immediately reported. In Kryvyi Rih, a missile strike injured 5 people and damaged high-rise buildings, a school, and a car wash, according to officials. Meanwhile, a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake has killed over 1,000 people in Myanmar and left thousands injured. The quake was also felt in nearby countries. Rescue teams are searching for survivors under collapsed buildings. In Mandalay, more than 19 people are trapped in the rubble of an apartment block, while at least 50 construction workers are missing after a high-rise building collapsed in Bangkok. A rescue team in Mandalay told newsmen that they are digging people out with their bare hands. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has criticized Denmark for not doing enough to protect Greenland from alleged threats by China and Russia. During his visit, he urged Greenlanders to break ties with Denmark and negotiate a deal with the U.S. instead. Vance downplayed past comments by President Donald Trump about taking Greenland by force, insisting that the U.S. wants to work with the island's people for self-determination. However, a January poll showed that most Greenlanders oppose annexation. Denmark strongly rejected Vance's remarks. And lastly, on global news, a British tourist has been praised for stopping a suspected knife man in Amsterdam. The man, who wants to stay anonymous, restrained the attacker after 5 people were stabbed near Dam Square on Thursday. Video footage shows him pinning the suspect down until police arrived. Amsterdam's mayor Femke Halsema called his actions exceptional and awarded him a bravery honor, saying he acted instinctively to protect others. The suspect, a 30-year-old Ukrainian man, was arrested and taken to the hospital with one injury. And that's it from the global scene. Rebecca Goffey reporting for BeeTv News.
Chris Brown is officially set to headline this year's Afro Nation Festival in Portugal, joining all-stars lineup that includes Burna Boy, Davido, Thames, Mary J. Blige, Buba, and many others. The highly anticipated event, known as the world's biggest Afrobeat festival, will take place from June 26 to June 28, 2025 at Praia da Rocha, Portimao, Portugal. BeeTv News gives to a boy and has details of these and more from the entertainment world.
The inclusion of Chris Brown in this year's Afro Nation lineup is a major highlight as it marks its continued appreciation for African music and culture. The Grammy-winning R&B star has previously collaborated with several Afrobeat artists including Davido, Wizkid and Rema, making its presence at the festival a natural fit. Joining him on stage will be some of the biggest names in the Afrobeat and R&B. Burna Boy, a global superstar and Grammy winner, is also known for hits like Last Last and Yeah. Davido, one of Afrobeat's leading figures, will bring high-energy performances of chart-topping tracks like Unavailable and Fall. Afro Nation Portugal has become one of the most anticipated festivals of the summer, drawing thousands of music lovers from around the world. Known for its vibrant beachside setting, the festival blends Afrobeat, R&B, hip-hop, dancehall, and amapiano, creating an unforgettable cultural experience. The ongoing 30-day run challenge on social media continues to gain momentum, with veteran singer China Gorom Onoha, popularly known as African China, becoming the latest celebrity to participate. In a recently shared video, the Ajegule-born musician and his children joined the trending challenge by singing along to his latest single, Photocopy, which sheds light on Nigerians' economic struggles. The song, originally released 2 years ago, criticizes the Nigerian government and political elite for their handling of the country's affairs. In the accompanying music video, African China is seen wearing a National Youth Service Corps NYSC uniform while addressing social and economic issues. His participation in the challenge also serves as a gesture of solidarity with corps member Usherita Ugwamaye, who sparked controversy after publicly criticizing President Tinubu. Her viral NYSC video is widely credited with igniting the ongoing rant challenge. Lastly, on entertainment, famous Nigerian singer Davido has signed independent artist Boy Chase to his record label DMW. DMW, on its Instagram story, shared a video of the celebratory dinner held to welcome Boy Chase into the record label. Confirming the development, Davido reposted the video on his Instagram story with the caption, "Welcome to greatness at That Boy Chase." Davido established DMW in April 2016. Other singers who signed to the DMW include Peruzzi, Mayokun, Dremo, Yonda, DJ Iku, Ido West, Danagog, DK, B-Red, and Medi, among others. And that's it on entertainment news tonight. Gift Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News.
Nigerian table tennis star Quadri Aruna suffered an early exit at the maiden WTT star contender Chennai in India after a 3-0 loss to Chinese Taipei player and world number 58 Feng Yin Sing in the round of 32 on Friday. Let's now join our sports correspondent Freeman Osawe, who has more on this and other trending sports stories.
It was not a good outing for Aruna, who was stunned by 22-year-old 13-11, 11-8, level 8 in the second round. The former WWE youth champion curtailed Aruna in their maiden encounter, recording his first win against the highest-ranked African in the world. While Aruna was drawn back into the round, Yi Xin had sent the number 4 seed in the tournament a note of warning when he dispatched Belgium's Adrien Rosenfels 3-0, 11-6, 11-8, 11-9 in just 20 minutes to emerge as Aruna's opponent on Thursday. 36-year-old Aruna has now played in 3 WTT events this year, with his semi-final finish in the WTT Star Contender in Doha, where he lost a straight set to Japanese sensation Tomokazu Harimoto, being his best run. Meanwhile, 2025 African Cup Championship Omar Assa of Egypt began his campaign at the event with a convincing victory in the first round of the men's single at the Jawaharlal Nehru Indoor Stadium in India. Leverkusen overpowers Bochum to stay in Bundesliga title race. Jeremy Frimpong of Bayer for Leverkusen vies with Maximilian Wittek of VfL Bochum 1848 during the first division of Bundesliga football match between Bayer 04 Leverkusen and VfL Bochum 1848 in Leverkusen, Germany. Leverkusen made their intention of staying in the title race clear early on, dominating possession and controlling the tempo. The hosts were rewarded in 20th minute where Alexis Garcia found space outside the area and caught a shot into the top corner, leaving Belgium goalkeeper Timo Horn with no chance. But the visitors, desperate for points in their relegation battle, made quick response. 6 minutes later, Felix Passlack stunned the home crowd with a volley from the edge of the area to level the scores. Brazil are officially without a head coach. On Friday, the Brazilian Football Federation (CBF) confirmed the dismissal of Dorival Jr. just 3 days after the Selecao humiliating 4-1 loss to Argentina at the Monumental Stadium in Buenos Aires during the 2026 World Cup qualifier. The 62-year-old coach had already been under pressure following Brazil's overwhelming performances in the Copa America and World Cup qualifier, but the heavy defeat to the reigning world champion was the final straw. Dorival Jr. took charge in January 2024, managing 16 matches to the record of 7 wins, 7 draws and 2 losses. His Brazil side scored 25 goals but conceded 17 with persistent concern about defensive fragility. At the 2024 Copa America, Brazil were eliminated in the quarterfinals by Uruguay following a goalless draw and a loss in the penalty shootout. The early exit raised that before the team's identity and consistency. And that's it on Sport News tonight. Freeman Osavu reporting for BeeTv News.
And that is the Size 1 News package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us on BeeTv News. I am Evelyn Izibili. Thank you and have a good night.